Hello, my friends. Today's date is February the 24th, and this is a reading for you if this is your birth date. This is a four-card pull, a general energy card for the year, a challenge you might face this year, an action you can take to stay in balance, and an understanding or synopsis card. This is approximately 10 minutes. So, anyways, this is the general energy card for the year, something that might be sustained or something that might chop it open for you to look at. Aletheia. And what is Aletheia? Aletheia is truth. You know, there's a sense that when we hear truth, everyone who hears it understands it on a deep level. That it's a wide truth. It needs no facts. It needs no points to make it true. It's just an understandable sense of when truth is spoken, we hear it and we understand it deeply, and it's just a natural thing. But we also understand often when lies are spoken, there's a change in energy, there's a change in tone, there's a change in feeling. We feel underneath it, we feel the edge underneath it, we feel the falsity underneath it, and it resonates on some kind of emotional level. So Aletheia is about truth, and this year might be a time when you really reveal some truth about yourself that needs to be revealed. Maybe it's to yourself and maybe it's to others, but you will feel a reprieve by speaking your truth, and you will feel a reprieve by hearing someone else speak the truth. So this is a reciprocal action, that when you speak the truth, others are allowed to speak the truth, and vice versa. So look for those times when there's something really challenging, something really bedeviling to you, and you don't know what to do and you don't know what to say, and you can project all these negativities about what might possibly happen, and might just recognize that you need to step forward and speak the truth, and liberate yourself. So this is the particular challenge this year. Five of Swords. Five of Swords is often about anger, resentment, guilt. You know, there's this. This is a beautiful picture of a father. It looks like he's, criticizing the child who's in a corner. He's got a finger up. He's scolding him. There's a look. There's a line that connects directly into the child. There's a black and white essence to it. There's black and white according to probably the father's image about what was supposed to have done, and the child is in the corner, reflecting, and the mother, apparently mother, possibly stands here watching, with her arms across her solar plexus, protecting herself. Maybe she's protecting herself from the criticism of the father. Maybe she is just going along with it and trying to be stern and supportive of father. Maybe she's trying to be supportive of child but doesn't know how to really support him, or her. Maybe it's an enabling, maybe it's a defending, maybe it's a shutting up and not doing anything. In any case, this is a situation that often breeds pain and confusion and anger and resentment and guilt and shame, and a look at all senses of oneself and how one operates in the world. So this is your challenge, to go through something like this again, to go through something that might be pulling up your old childhood issues of, parents condemning, a parent condemning, another sense of feeling unsupported and unwelcomed, or another sense of maybe using that resentment from that old time to be doing this back outward to others or to someone else. But the challenge is that I think you see it, you recognize it, you feel it, and you want to find the truth about it, and you don't want to be run by it anymore, and you don't want to be held by it anymore. And you want to heal some of this pain, and you don't want to just keep on going, continuing this cycle in your family, with your friends, with your work, with your life, with yourself. You don't want to be judgmental and condemning of yourself and not give yourself some motherly love, some nurturance, some comfort, some understanding, some compassion. None of that is often available in this Five of Swords kind of energy. It's guilt and shame. It's not compassion, and it's all the ramifications that come from guilt and shame. But you're challenged to be with that anymore. You're challenged to see that anymore and be part of that anymore, and extend yourself in the same ways of protection and defense, and or holding over someone else who you feel like they're not operating in the way that you think is supposed to be cut and dry, that they should operate. So it's a looking within, and an understanding what part you're taking in some kind of play, and looking toward healing it. And that's exactly what the action to take talks about. Rabbit is often talked about as holding a bunch of different fears, and going out into the middle of the field, and, on some level, just standing there, just saying, "Oh, don't eat me. I'm in the middle of the grass. You can see me. But if I don't move, you can't see me. So I'm going to hide in plain sight, hoping you don't see me. But if you move any bit, then the eagle might see you, and the coyote might see you, and the other creatures that see you might want to eat you. So what fears are you putting out? That you're going to be eaten, that you're going to be messed with, that you're going to be controlled, that you're going to be killed? What fears are you living under if you keep enacting the pain that's inside of you? So it's about looking at your fears. It's about, what are you really afraid of? What are you really calling to you? What we call to us keeps coming back to us, to reinforce what we think is the reality of things, but it's not necessarily the truth of things. There's truth again. That the truth is often that we're much more able to deal with things than we were as children, that we're much more able to put up our boundaries than we did as children. We're much more able to see the fear that runs us, and peg it, understand it, and work toward healing it, than we did as children, when we were confused, and we were angry and resentful, and we were called guilty, and we felt ashamed, and whatever other energies that might be underneath us. So this is about facing your fear, looking at the fears that you project out into the world, that you keep calling back to you to look at. And one of the primary issues, I think, this is about setting good boundaries. As an adult, we are the adult that's now here to take care of our inner child who might be reacting to things. And a lot of the time, our pain is our inner child reacting. And when we feel, that angst, we need to ask our inner child, what are you afraid of? What do you need help with? What can I protect you from? This is the last card. Beautiful card of putting up two hands and not being willing to take something anymore. And I think this is about setting clear boundaries and learning how to say no, and learning how to say, no, I'm not going to be directly involved with this kind of confrontation anymore. I'm going to turn away from this and understand that I don't have to take part in this exchange of violence, this exchange of entrapment, this exchange of guilt and shame and fear, retribution, resentment, and I don't want to do it anymore. And I'm going to listen for the truth, and I'm going to look for the truth, and I'm going to be open to the truth. And that may mean shutting down your eyes to see, but opening up your heart and your being to understand and feel in a deeper level what is truth inside of you. What is truth that you want to hold as dear? How can you maintain a better sense of your own personal truth? And that comes by working with your inner child, working with your wounded child, working with that part of you that has been buffered by somebody else's pain that has been handed down possibly from generation to generation through family and country to you. And it's up to you now this year to really do some major work on cleansing some old pains that have stopped you, that have made you afraid, that have made you angry and resentful, that have possibly made you lash out in the same ways as you were lashed out at when you were a child. But you don't like that anymore, and it's time to go on. And it's time to look at the fears that have run you and learn how to choose a different path. One that says, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. Blessed be. Take a deep breath and go forward. Ha-ho.